So this is episode 3. So we stay in Riverside. We're in Riverside now, away from our family, which is, good and bad. We're not around people who are hurting us anymore, are being mean to us, are treating us bad, but we're also all alone. Just me and my dad. Of course, we made little friends, little neighbor friends, and I had a best friend named Rhonda, and I still know her till this day. So I'm babysitting and housekeeping and, trying to get money in the house so that we can be okay. And I'm 15 and I don't have an ID. I'm supposed to be in school, and I'm literally hustling my way through jobs. One specific family that I went to that hired me, I mean, these people couldn't have been, they definitely weren't stupid, but they did hire me, and I'll never forget them. But I basically told them that my ID and all of my paperwork burned in a fire. I mean, I was 15 years old. And I said that I didn't have an ID, but I lied and told them I was 18. But I charged them a really, very little bit of money. I made like $175 a week, babysitting from 5 a.m. in the morning till 5 p.m. at night and taking the bus there. So it was literally a 12-hour days for $175 a week. But I was 15 and it made ends meet. Traditionally in our culture, women and young girls my age are supposed to run a psychic shop, tell fortune, do palm readings and card readings, and that is the traditional role of a gypsy woman, young lady, young girl. I was in a different situation. I had no mother around, and my father was ill, and I was basically heading the household at 15 years old. And so fortune telling wasn't possible for several different reasons. But the bigger reason for me was, even though I knew how to do it and I was taught and I was good at it, it wasn't that I didn't want to, like, as an option, like, oh, I just don't want to do that. That doesn't sound fun. It was more of I can't do it. I couldn't bring myself to lie, scam, and steal. That's really it. I couldn't bring myself to do it. And if you ask a gypsy right now, a lot of them would tell you she wasn't a good gypsy woman because she couldn't do those things without feeling bad for the customer. Well, I just didn't have it in me. I was taught, I was good, but I didn't have it in me, in my soul and in my heart, to lie for money. So that was just something that we just didn't do. So I did the housekeeping and I did the babysitting, and we had my dad's Social Security check, and we made ends meet. Eventually, right around the time I was 17 and a half, my best friend Rhonda was moving away. She was going to move to San Diego, and that was devastating for me because I didn't have anybody. I had my dad, and that was it. And here I am, 15 years old, working 12-hour days. I literally didn't have an outlet. Rhonda was my outlet, and she's moving. So I asked my dad, hey, can I go and move my friend to San Diego? We're leaving this evening. We'll be back in the morning or really late tonight. And he flat out said no. And that made me angry. I didn't want him to say no to me. I wanted to go with my friend to move her. And he wouldn't let me. So I got my purse. We argued. He told me, as I'm getting my purse, getting ready to leave because I'm going, he looked at me when I was at the door and said, you're going to regret if you do this. And I got my purse, went to the door, turned around and looked at him in his face and said, I'm going and I hate you. And then I walked out the door. Stay tuned for the next video.